All right, y'all, welcome back to another one. So before we get going, we still got t-shirts and hoodies available. Nice Coon Creek Outdoors logo on the front as well as on the back. Great way to support the channel. You can find them in the very first link down below in the description. I'll also put a link in the comments as well. So anyway, back to the video here. So one of the cool things, at least in my mind, one of the cool things of being able to document my trapping on YouTube for so long is the simple fact that not only am I able to kind of see my progression through the years, but I'm able to bring that to you guys too. You know, I think it's funny because I get people all the time, you know, my videos from 10 years ago are still, you know, for the most part, just as relevant today as they were back then. And so, you know, I get people all the time and they ask, oh yeah, I saw a video and it was from 7 years ago and you did it this way. And then, you know, now it's different, you know, and that's one of the cool things with trapping. And I've always said that is, you know, there's really not one right or wrong way to do things. It's the way that works best for you and is most efficient, right? For me, I'm always trying to reinvent the wheel. I can honestly say, I don't think I've done the same exact thing 2 years in a row, ever. I'm always trying to perfect something or, you know, take a few seconds out of it or make a better tool or something. And that leads me to the topic of today's video. So for years and years and years, I dug all of my dirt holes like the majority of you right here with a hammer. This is one that I made, but I mean just a regular kind of trapper's hammer. It's got a big blade on the front of it, and I mean that's what you would dig with. And I did this for years and years and years, had great success, no problem with it, but there's always a better way, right? There's always a better way. So a couple of years ago, I guess now, a couple of years ago, I decided to go to a shovel. This right here changed coyote trapping for me. Utilizing this small little spade, it made me so much more efficient. So let me explain what this is. And you know, there's a lot of guys that use spades. A lot of guys will use a regular, this is a full length spade. This is basically what this thing started out to be. And I just shortened it down. I'm not old enough yet. I still would like to be right there at my work. I know a lot of guys will stand up and dig. Me personally, I've got to be down there to set that trap anyway. I might as well kneel down and dig as well. So this is just a regular tile spade. And this is what this actually started out to be. I modified it quite a little bit. So a regular tile spade, roughly 5.5, 6 inches. I cut this sucker down to about 4.5 inches, and then overall length for me is around about 35 inches. And to me, that's just a great kind of, I can still get a lot of leverage, but it's just a nice length to kneel down and dig. So obviously this is a wood handle, super heavy duty. Whenever I was making this tool here, I wanted the lightest thing possible. So I went with kind of the lightest spade I could find, fiberglass handle, plastic D handle, and I just didn't want to pack the weight. So I've been using this thing now for a couple of years, and I'm super, super happy with it. But digging in frozen ground, it being so lightweight, I do get a lot of flex with it. It's a little harder to chop roots. So I'm going to try to modify it today, and I'll bring you guys along. But real quick, before we do that, I want to show you kind of the efficiency wise of having this versus just using your traditional trapping hammer. And to me, like I said, speed and efficiency is everything. So we've all seen, you know, how we dig a trap bed with this hammer, so I won't bore you with that. But I will show you real quick how quick basically I can plug in my go-to step down dirt hole set using this tool. All right, so we're just gonna do a standard step down dirt hole. And like I said, I just kind of want you to see. So basically whenever I get going here, I'll take my spade and I will just come in and I will dig a pretty good sized trench here. This is a lot of earth to move with a regular trowel, okay? So we're gonna dig that trench down, dig through all those roots. This is obviously pretty dry ground, but I always try to dig at an angle, okay? There we go. There's our trench. Okay, now we're gonna come in here and we're gonna take our hammer drill and our big auger. We're gonna dig a big deep hole in there. This is usually the best dirt here. So this is the dirt that I kind of save off to the side here. Okay, next we're gonna take our trap. We're going to drive our stake. So by the way, this is a earth anchor driver by Hammer Down Drivers. Mark's the guy that's making them. He's a die and tool maker by trade. I gain absolutely nothing from this. I want to share with you a cool product, and this is definitely a cool product. Hands down the best earth anchor driver I've ever used. He makes them for super stakes and wolf fangs. So anyway, take our earth anchor, drive that in. Handle, I'm telling you, check them out. Hammer Down Drivers. Okay, now because I'm using the step down set, my trap bed doesn't have to be like super critical, because that animal is already going to have so much momentum coming down as he steps on it. So take a pan plug, which is just pipe insulation. Bring that 650 down to night latch. Test fit that trap. Need to take out just a little bit more on the sides there, so I will use my hammer. You can use a shovel too, but I'll use my hammer. Bed that trap right there. That looks really good. We'll clean out the hole one more time. Bed that trap in super solid. Really pack it in there. Cover that trap up. I always like to give them just no real way in, but right there, kind of fluff the area up, and you can see that coyote has to basically put his foot on that kill area of that trap if he's going to step down in here, which is below grade level. So all we got left to do is bait it, and we are done, right? Like that's pretty quick. That's pretty efficient. And a lot of it is having this trowel. So anyway, that is that's the set there. Throw some bait down it, and we are good to go. All right, so this thing works great. Like I said, the one drawback, I guess, would be there's a little bit of flex in the blade since I went with such a light model. I've run this thing now for like 2 years, and I can tell you, I would rather pack just a little bit more weight if I could have that like real rigid root cutting ability and like prying ability. So anyway, I'm gonna take you over to the table real quick, and I'm gonna show you my brand new setup that I'm gonna try to be running for the majority of this year. Okay, so back at the table here. So like I said, this is the tool that I've been using now for a couple of years. Like I said, it works great. I'm just always trying to invent the wheel. So anyway, I was running around the hardware store the other day, and I came across this ditching shovel. And this is a razorback ditching shovel here. This is the one with fiberglass handle. I'll see if I can't find a link that I can put this below. But this is a lot stouter tool than this lightweight tile spade. And you can see, because it's a ditching shovel, it's got a bend in it, right? And I almost think that I will like that better. Whenever I saw it, I was like, man, I've had ditching shovels in the past, but they've not been super heavy duty. This thing here is pretty stout, but what I thought was with that bend in there, I won't have to dig my hand down in the dirt and the mud so much. That's the only problem with having flat, is once you start trying to dig, you're always kind of digging your hand down in the dirt. But by having this angle on it, you can see that blade is almost parallel to the ground while my hand is still up here. So we're gonna modify this one to how I have this, and I'm gonna run them for the next little bit, and we'll kind of see, which one I like better. So anyway, real quick and simple how to do this. You don't need much at all. I've got a few power tools here to help me, and we'll just make this up right quick. So you can use saw, hacksaw, whatever. Grinder with abrasive wheel on it works really good for cutting this fiberglass. But we want to try to determine our length here real quick. And I'm thinking, since this is a ditching shovel here, not a spade, it doesn't have a D handle on it. And I like that D handle, really get in there and dig and pry. So I've got an old D handle here. This is just off of an old snow shovel. And the diameter I think will fit here. We'll figure it out here in a minute. I got several broken shovels, so we'll find one that works. But anyway, I think I want it about the same length, maybe a little bit shorter actually. I don't know. See if I go right there. Yeah, that's not too bad. Yeah, I think that'll work pretty well. It'd be nice to get it a little shorter because I can fit it in my pack easier, and I think I'll be able to do that actually. So anyway, we'll go with this to start off with, and we can always shorten it. So let's call it right in that area right there. And see how that goes for us. And we'll cut this off with abrasive wheel here real quick. Real easy, and we'll see what we have here. All right, see if oh, that's good. That fits on there very nicely. Oh yeah, that's a pretty nice tool there. I think I'll like that. I think I'll like that quite well actually. I can maybe make it a little shorter. Right now it's about the same length as my old shovel, and we'll give it a go. It's like I said, it's nothing to shorten it, but overall is about 35 inches. The old one here is about 35 inches. So like I said, we may be able to shorten it up just because I'll have a little bit more leverage, but all we've got to do here is just square up this handle and put a couple of set screws in it. We got ourselves a new digging tool. So I'll just pre-drill this fiberglass. Just so it doesn't splinter, and then I've just got a couple of big stainless steel heavy threaded tools. Make sure that's square. I like it square. Some people would want it offset. You can do whatever. But I like it square. So like I said, if this thing ends up being the handle too long, we can always just cut a little bit off of it till we find our perfect, length. You can't add any of it, obviously. All right, there we go. So it is definitely heavier. The steel on this is substantial compared to this one, but I think it's going to hold up quite well. Like I said, this one here in the super hard ground, it gets to flexing a little bit, especially since I narrowed it down. One other thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my grinder while I'm here, and I'm going to sharpen that. It's not really sharp, it's pretty blunt, and I want to be able to actually like cut a root. So we'll just dress that up a little bit. All right, that works. Boy, that's nice and sharp now. It'll dull, but I mean, it's sharp for now. All right, so there we go, my new digging shovel. So let's take them both back over here to our set area and we'll see how this one digs in comparison to the other. All right, so let's see how these two, I mean, they're different for sure. And like I said, this one here is substantially heavier, but you know, I can still take this one and carry this one in and have this one for whenever I'm running out of the truck side by side, which is honestly, my line has kind of gone to that for canine trapping especially. So let's see how she works here in comparison. This is a pretty hard, soddy soil here. We haven't had a lot of rain this year actually, but nice big D handle so I can get my gloved hand in there because I always wear those rubber gloves. But oh, that's pretty nice. Yeah, it's gonna take a little getting used to because the way that the blade is, as soon as it hits, it wants to skate over, but it keeps you from digging down real far. Definitely feels a little sturdier, but see, there's that root, so we can take care of that pretty easy. Yeah, I like that. All right, so there's that. I mean, that's ready to go right there. This one here, I'll obviously be a little quicker, just because I've done, you know, thousands of these. But I can already tell. See how this one, it kind of digs. This one definitely digs down more. I don't know. I've used this one so much that, you know, there's a set basically made. But man, if I get good with this, see, it almost gets underneath and peels that sod up, which is really what you want. And then you can just come back and finish out the set. It's definitely easier to cut because that blade formation, I don't think I could do that blade formation on this other shovel just because of the thinner material. This is definitely a heavier gauge metal, but yeah, I mean, that's pretty good right there. One thing I am noticing is because my hands, I think I may end up shortening this just a little bit. This one here, you know, you kind of need that leverage to get down and pry up, but this one here, you can almost use that shovel to force it up. So that would be cool if I could have this thing smaller. It'd be easier to fit into a pack or a bucket or something. So anyway, all right, y'all, there you go. Two different tools. That this one obviously I've used for a couple of years now, my progression from the trapping hammer, and this is a brand new one to me, so pretty excited to try it out. I think it'll work great in the frozen ground or semi-frozen ground. You know, whenever you get that inch, 2 inch crust on the ground, you know, and then it's thawed underneath. That's kind of where this one lacks. Definitely pros and cons to both. This one's definitely lighter. Obviously I've got a little bit of training to do with it because I just dug so many thousands of dirt holes with this one, and this one's new, but pretty happy with it. Like I said, super easy mod. I mean, it took what, 5 minutes to do, so nothing difficult there. And now I got two shovels. So anyway, there you go. The tool that changed the way I coyote trap. There you go. All right, y'all, that's gonna do it for today. Leave a comment down below if you guys like these kind of videos, these little DIY trapping tool hacks, whatever, I don't know. So this is stuff that I'm doing real life to make myself more efficient on the line. Glad y'all joined me. Don't forget, we got the hoodies and the t-shirts. Check them out. If you would, hit that thumbs up button for me. It really does help. Yeah, check out Hammer Down Drivers. Like I said, I gain absolutely nothing from that, but pretty cool product. I've been using them now for the first few weeks of this season and been very happy with them. Very happy. The guys got it figured out. So anyway, I'm gonna leave you all with that. As always, appreciate the view. See you on the next one.